Hey everybody, I thought I would do a day in the life of a housewife video today. So it's not something I exactly talk about very much, but I am currently a housewife, and this is just an example of a typical day in my life. So when I wake up and start going downstairs, my cat is always there to greet me, practically trying to trip me on the stairs, and one of the first things I do is feed the cats because they are hungry and they are waiting for their breakfast. They both get dry food all day long basically, and then they get wet food twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. For my cup of water today, I'm using my new Starbucks tumbler. It's mostly pink and then it's a little blue, and it's got like square grid pattern all over it. I really like it. And I'm also having this way too small little like fruit snack bar type thing. I just want to have those and sit and play my favorite iPad game. This is Disney Collect by Topps. I have a couple videos on this game. So while I'm having some water and eating my little fruit strip, I play my game just kind of before I'm ready to run out and start some errands. This is the purse I'm currently using. It's my Loungefly Minnie Mouse backpack. It's pink. It goes really nicely with my pink cup, and my pink pad of paper there has my grocery list. So now I've got everything I need that I'm going to bring in the car, and I got my car keys, and I head out to the grocery store. My husband needed shampoo, so I stopped and picked out some shampoo for him. I also got him some gummy multivitamins. We needed dishwasher pods because we're just about out of those. We also need some more ground coffee. I actually have a lot of stuff on our list. It was a pretty big grocery trip this time. So as you can see, I made my way around the store. I stocked up on everything that we needed to get us through a couple of days, and then I headed out. After also stopping at the produce store, I swung by Starbucks to get my sister a coffee drink that she wanted. It's that like honey oat milk latte or something, and personally I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like the honey in it. Then I went home. I put my dirty mask in that bowl that I showed. It's full of masks that need to be washed. Obviously, I'm a little behind. And I started unloading our groceries. I got this weird flavor of popcorn. I hadn't seen this before. I'd seen the Smart Food popcorn, and I liked their white cheddar flavor, but I hadn't seen Krispy Kreme donut before, so I wanted to get that. I have since tried it, and I'm not really a big fan. In the middle of unloading the groceries, I stopped to put on a pot of tea because my husband started getting a cold basically, so he wasn't feeling great, and he asked for some hot tea, so I got that going. Then went back to putting away the groceries. As soon as the water heated up, I poured us each a mug of tea, and I used our super cute Ray Dunn mugs. Mine is pink, it says Beauty. His is black and says Beast. I found those at Home Goods. They're so cute, and I'm so happy I got them. I love Beauty and the Beast, so they're perfect for us. I also like to add a little milk into our tea, and definitely honey, especially if someone has a cold. Then I took a little while to call the LASIK facility that I'm going to be getting LASIK from because I wanted to make my appointment with them. So I did. I am getting that very soon. I'm a little nervous. So if anybody has any tips or advice about LASIK, please feel free to share that with me and your experience as well. So after I did that, that took me a little bit. And after I did that, then I started cleaning out our fridge because it has become a disaster and it's full. Now, we do usually have a lot of food on hand. That's just how we do things. That's what works for us. So yes, I know our fridge looks jam-packed, and yes, typically it is. The whole fridge could use a wash down as well. I should really be doing that for my spring cleaning. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I did replace the liners that we're using in the produce drawer because those were just too dirty, and I thought some new clean ones would be better. So yes, it's still full, but it's more organized, and I know where things are, and I rearranged things and put things in new bins, so it is a little cleaner and tidier than before, believe it or not. And I have some dishes left over. That's one of my least favorite things, is doing the dishes. They just never end. And at some point doing the dishes, I had to put a pillow and our little girl cat's carrier in front of our office door because my husband closed the cat out of the office because she's just kind of annoying sometimes. So she, of course, hates a closed door, and she was just meowing and like tapping and pawing at the door. So I tried to block her from it. It didn't work totally, but it helped. But as you can see, she still really wants to get in there. Then it was back to the kitchen sink to wash that very full bowl of worn face masks. I just use hot water and some dish soap, and I mix it all around and I let them sit for a little while. And then obviously I give them a good rinse and let them air dry. So that's how we wash the masks at our house. We were about out of dish soap, so I gave that a quick refill. I only like to keep a small bottle of dish soap out on the counter, so I just keep a big one handy under the sink for refills. So I did that, and then I also had to switch out our hand soap. Those Bath & Body Works hand soaps, the foamy ones, can last forever, and I feel like I was low on hand soap for such a long time, but it just would never run out. So it finally ran out, so I rinsed out that yellow, it's like kitchen lemon, Bath & Body Works hand soap, and I switched that out to something new and unscented. Then I gave the whole sink area, including our dish sponge, a really good spray with 7th generation disinfecting spray. It's kind of naturally or something, so I feel a little bit safer about using it because you can just like spray it and let it air dry on stuff, and I feel like that's fairly safe, so I like using that one as opposed to something stronger like a spray with bleach maybe. Though that's not to say that I don't bleach the sink and use bleach and some stronger cleaning chemicals around our house, because I definitely do. I wiped down our kitchen island and the back counter and the stove top. Just wanted to get some of the crumbs and stuff off that were lingering. I spent some time initiating an Amazon return, but then I ended up calling Amazon, so that took a little while. I needed to figure some things out and what to do about this box that I received. I ordered jojoba oil and a couple other things, but the oil leaked all over this box and kind of ruined this packing paper, so I called them to figure out what they wanted me to do. I was getting really hungry because I had not yet eaten enough today, so I decided to have one of my favorite new snacks. It's matzo crackers with cream cheese. I learned about this from somebody on TikTok, and I like both the unsalted or the salted matzo crackers, but really the salted does taste better. And I like the Tillamook aged cheddar or even the veggie cream cheese. You spread a little bit on a matzo cracker. It is so good. It's such a great snack. Really basic, but really yummy. I realized our bird feeders out in the backyard were out of bird food, bird seed, so I decided to go out there and fill them up. One is really gross. It's this one. It's really dirty. I have wiped it and washed it. It doesn't matter. It gets disgusting. And this open one is really nice because birds can perch like all around the edges, or sometimes they just sit right in there, but the stuff falls out a lot easier. So I always feel good when those are filled up because we do get a lot of birds and bunnies in the backyard, and squirrels too. I had a few things to do upstairs, so I went upstairs and saw this little bug who had been napping by a window, kind of by the sunshine where he could keep nice and warm. I always like to talk to my cats, hug them, kiss them, pet them, like all day long. Then I had to take some vitamins, so I take, maybe kind of a lot of vitamins every day. So I took a vitamin D, and I also took a pill. It's a prescription that I take for my acne. I'm thinking about doing an acne related YouTube video, so I'm still gonna think about how I want to do that. So yeah, I just took some of my pills. I reapplied a little sunscreen. The one on the right, SPF 35, is really thick and heavy and greasy, but it works on my skin. I recently got the SPF 50 on the left, thinking it would be the same, and it is not. It is even heavier and greasier. It makes me more shiny if that's possible. So if you ever want to use any of the Vanity Cream sunscreens, I think there's only like 2. I recommend the SPF 35. And also, just FYI, I have been using their face moisturizer and having a lot of luck with that. Next, I made the bed, and it's really just a general pulling together. I don't do any great or fancy job at making our bed typically, and I cannot make our bed first thing in the morning because my husband wakes up after I do, so it's just something I've got to wait a little while to do. Back in the kitchen, I decided to sweep the kitchen and the foyer because they both needed it. So we have some like linoleum or sweepable floors on our first floor and some carpet. So really our foyer and our like powder room, bathroom, and the kitchen are all I can sweep on the first floor. Everything else involves vacuuming. My husband asked for another cup of tea, and so I made him one, and because his other mug had already been put in the dishwasher, I got him just a clean mug, and I thought it'd be funny to give him yet another mug that references the Beast, because I love Beauty and the Beast, and I just thought it'd be funny to repeat a Beast mug like I had in the morning. Next up, I decided to vacuum the living room just because it needs it, and I have to do that all the time. We have 2 cats, and they just create a massive amount of hair balls and tufts and cat hair all over the carpet, so I have to vacuum all the time. The cat's water fountain was due to be washed, so I took the whole thing apart and let it soak in the kitchen sink with some hot soapy water, and then I give everything a good wipe down and rinse and dry, and I fill it back up with clean water for them, of course. I think it's really important to keep their water fountain very clean, so I like to stay on top of that. Then it was time to start dinner, so tonight we are having zucchini pizza bites. It was my first time making them, and I'm not sure if these little tiny bites were the best idea. Overall, this meal was good, but it was not filling enough. So I need to make either more bites next time or larger, like use more zucchini still, but do like larger pieces of zucchini. I don't know, I'm still gonna work on it, but I would definitely make this again because it was good. So I took a baking sheet and put some foil on it. I sprayed it with nonstick. Hi, kitty. I sprayed it with nonstick cooking spray, and then in like a single layer, I laid out my little round circles of zucchini. For the sauce, I just picked up a jar of pizza sauce that was in like the pizza supplies aisle by the other crusts and little pepperonis and stuff. It had some seasonings in it, but I decided to add a little bit more Italian seasoning to it. I stirred it up and I added just a little bit to each zucchini. I used to add way too much pizza sauce anytime we'd make a pizza, so I had to learn this. After a lot of trial and error, a little sauce goes a very long way. Then I topped each zucchini with a little mozzarella cheese. Use any cheese that you like, but because they're supposed to be like pizza, I wanted to use mozzarella. I added some pepperoni as well to some of them, but not all of them. And again, just like the cheese, you can put any toppings that you want on here. They just have to be cut up or small. When they came out of the oven, they looked good and they smelled good, and most importantly, they tasted really good. Next, I went back upstairs to do some laundry and also to change. So I'm throwing in laundry now, and I decided I'm going to be doing laundry outside of normal like workday hours and also on the weekends, because we currently have 2 full-time work from homers from my house, and so doing the laundry upstairs is just too noisy for them during their workday. So after I changed and threw in a load of laundry, I went back downstairs to the living room to do a yoga video. Yoga with Adrienne is the only one I watch on YouTube for yoga. I love her. I very recently decided that I want to get back into exercising. I have been super lazy over 2020. I did no exercising. I have not been into my fitness and my health at all, but I decided to get back into it. Not so much with my diet, because I really struggle to eat healthy, but just with exercising more and getting more physically fit. So I've just been trying to do that the last week or so, and I'm starting off really slowly so I don't hurt myself or overdo it. And one of the ways that I kind of slowly work up to exercising a little more is just by doing a little daily yoga. So that's what I've been doing. It does feel good. The stretch feels really good, and also like I really need it. And I realized just like how out of shape and unflexible, I guess, that I've gotten, and yeah, how important it is for me to really do this on a regular basis and stick with it. And there's like the world's most embarrassing downward dog. I don't think I do a good job at that, but I try. Then it was time to take a shower, and there were just a couple of things I wanted to do before I hopped in. So before I take a shower, I always like to comb and brush my hair really well. It's pretty long now, and I get knots really easily, and I don't like taking a shower with knots all over and like in my hair, so I like to comb and brush it both. I take off all my jewelry before I hop in the shower because I think showering or like even washing your face and stuff with jewelry on is really gross. Before I get in, I also plan to trim my nails. So I don't have much to show you there, but that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to trim them before I get in. And I'm also going to put in a little hair mask just for a couple minutes while I trim and file my nails. I'm making an icky face because the hair mask, like I have to put my hand in the jar and it's cold and icky and I hate getting my hands dirty like that. But I did it. And then I put my hair up to sit while I take care of my nails. My very basic nighttime skincare is usually limited to just that Vanny Cream face moisturizer. And then on a very rare occasion, I have slowly been trying to use adapalene, but it's not going great. And then I'm just showing the lip products. I like Dr. Bronner's, and I also like Laneige, if I'm saying that right. I have this little sample size, and it smells so good. I love all of their scents, any of them. All of them, they smell so good. And again, I don't like putting my hands in things and getting them dirty. I avoid it if I can. So for like my little lip mask, I like to use an applicator. And that's about it. I'm going to throw my hair up in this really crazy high bun just because I hear it's better to sleep with your hair up to prevent breakage. I also switch from my Apple Watch to my Fitbit, and I sleep with the Fitbit on because it does better sleep tracking. And then after this, I'm going to head downstairs and start the dishwasher, turn off some lights, stuff like that before I go up and get into bed. So that's it for my day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and seeing one of my just typical but kind of boring little days in the life of a housewife. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.